Happiness, hate, love, and anger. Politics is emotional. Did you ever get angry at a politician or just hope that your candidate would finally win that important election? Or just laugh about Donald Trump? Could happen, right? So emotions are everywhere in politics. And I study one particular part of that, which is called affective polarization. And affective polarization describes the phenomenon that we increasingly like or even love people who share our political attitudes, but dislike or even hate people who disagree with us. Just look around. What party do you think people vote for? Is it left? Is it right? Is it center? Well, it doesn't really matter. As long as they support the same party as you do, you're quite likely to share preferences and lifestyles. However, as soon as you disagree with each other, you probably feel uncomfortable. And research from all over the world shows how consequential affective polarization is. Just imagine, you want to apply for a new job and you hear that your potential new boss votes for a different party than you do. You're less likely to apply. Probably more important for all of us, we are less likely to be friends with a person and less likely to fall in love with a person if we know that that person votes for a different party than we do. Is it about that person then? No, it's affective polarization. We love and we hate. And this is not just in the US, right? This is everywhere. It's in Israel, and the Netherlands, in Germany, and yes, I'm sure it's also in this room. Affective polarization is also in Slovenia. And you may wonder, well, how does that look like in friendly Slovenia? Well, just imagine you voted for Golob in the last election and you realize that the person sitting next to you voted for Janša. Or other way around, you voted for Janša and you date somebody and this somebody is really nice and smart and beautiful, but voted for the other guy. She's a 10, but. And this is what I do every day. I study emotions in politics, and my angle on that is from the radical right. I examine populist radical right parties, which combine a racist ideology with the claim to move away the power away from the self-interested, corrupt, lazy political elites sitting far away in Washington or Ljubljana doing nothing for us, the hard-working, ordinary people like you and me. Hard-working and ordinary. So what do? Well, I look into huge surveys asking people, what emotions do you actually feel when you support the radical right? And then they can rank, right, from 1 to 5. Is it fear? Is it anger? And I also find it's nostalgia. People who long for the way society was and the way people were are more likely to support the radical right. And that is quite interesting because research also shows that most of us actually tend to be nostalgic from time to time. However, we long for different things, right? We may long for our childhood, Christmas, our first car perhaps, but these things are not related to radical right support. It's really this longing for a society that has allegedly been better in the past than today that make people more likely to support this ideology. So you can really see here already that emotions drive societies apart. And then I also directly talk to radical right voters. In September 2021, I sat in the living rooms and backyards of German radical right voters, just asking them, what emotions do you feel when you think about the green left? And I can tell you there were loads of emotions going on. But what I actually found more interesting is that people were quite good at using these emotions in a way to create us versus them. So they would motivate their own view in all these nice, friendly, cool emotions. They would say, you know, we're caring, we're compassionate, we are loving. Actually, we love our women so much that we just vote for this party to protect our women from migrants. But then they would ascribe all these negative, uncool emotions to the other side. They would say, you know, but the green left, they are angry, aggressive, and disgusted. So emotions seem to make the game. Why do I research this? Obviously, you could say, well, it matters scientifically, right? Emotions are everywhere, politics is everywhere, and we are here as scientists to understand what is everywhere. But I think there's even a more important reason, a societal reason. Right now, our societies are divided, right? We are disrespectful and intolerant towards each other, and we really can't afford that, given that we have such big challenges like climate change and social inequality that we rapidly and efficiently need to take care of. And I was told that I could bring one or several objects to illustrate my talk, and I was like, yeah, what should I illustrate with emotions? Everyone knows how fear looks like. But then I thought a bit more, and I think I found one story that to me really shows how current aggression and false pride and anger drive politics, and how on the other side there are people counteracting this aggression with genuine fear and compassion and love. And I have this one story that shows this to me, and here's the object. So obviously with my research, I can't make everybody love each other, and that's probably not even desirable, right? But if my research more broadly in this talk also could contribute towards hating each other a bit less, that would be a great start. Thank you.